Everyone loves sleep. It allows our bodies and minds to rest and recharge. But what happens if you don't sleep?
Good question. We've all pulled an all-nighter at least once in our lives. Studying for an exam, trying to make a deadline, or harassing people in online forums. But what if you took it a step further? What if you stayed awake for 48 hours? 72 hours? A week? That's when things start to get interesting. People experience all kinds of things, hallucinations, paranoia, even psychotic episodes. The body becomes sluggish, the mind begins to fail, and all of a sudden there are spiders everywhere. A small group of record breakers has explored the absolute limits of sleep deprivation. All of them came close to madness, most temporarily. Some did it for scientific research, others as part of competitions, and some because they had no choice. So who were the real people who've pushed the limits of sleep deprivation, and what happened to their minds and bodies when they just didn't sleep? Among the illustrious ranks of sleepless daredevils, we find New York DJ Peter Tripp. Back in 1959, this audacious fellow concocted a publicity stunt that would go down in history and raise cash for the March of Dimes. Picture this. Tripp, stationed in a glass DJ booth, smack in the heart of Times Square, spinning records and chatting away on the phone with fans. And across the street, a cozy hotel where he could shower and change. All the while, sleep scientists from NYU keep a watchful eye on this madcap escapade. Within a mere 72 hours, Tripp's sanity began to take a nosedive. Fits of uncontrollable laughter seized him, leaving everyone wondering if he'd gone bananas. As the clock ticked on, his mind spiraled into a state of agitation, confusion, and paranoia. Hallucinations began gate-crashing his waking reality, starting off innocently with phantom cobwebs drifting across the faces of his doctors. But over time, those hallucinations grew bolder, transforming into surreal and mind-bending visions. Tripp found himself face-to-face with an army of imaginary spiders crawling in and out of his shoes. It's a wonder he managed to keep his cool amidst such a bizarre spectacle. It probably didn't help that he was high as shit on amphetamines. As his sleepless days stretched into a seeming eternity, things took a turn for the peculiar. Tripp, in a frenzied state, scoured through dresser drawers in search of invisible money, pointed fingers at innocent souls with vague accusations of crimes. He even claimed he was an imposter, only pretending to be Peter Tripp. His mind had become a haunted house, each room harboring a unique fear. As the clock struck the 200-hour mark, a barely coherent Tripp found himself thrust into the final hour of wakefulness, forced to endure tests conducted by doctors. And lo and behold, the final count stood at a whopping 201 hours. Can you imagine? The man held on for dear life, teetering on the brink of exhaustion and pure madness. And when he could bear it no more, he succumbed to a deep slumber for an uninterrupted 13 hours. But alas, my friends, the consequences of this outrageous escapade proved to be far from fleeting. Tripp's poor family noticed drastic shifts in his once sunny disposition, witnessing heightened moodiness and the grip of depression. The aftermath of his bout with sleep deprivation was nothing short of calamitous. 4 divorces and the loss of his livelihood. Many held the belief that his daring 8-day stunt had indelibly altered the course of his life.
The consequences of sleep deprivation are extensive and varied. A difficult night can lead to an apocalyptic morning.
It seems like proper sleep hygiene has become rather a rare thing these days, my dear friends, and let me tell you, the consequences of this rampant lack of shut-eye are jaw-dropping. I'm talking about a mind-boggling $100 billion. American businesses are forced to swallow this astronomical loss in productivity each year, all thanks to those poor souls who find themselves sleep-deprived and stumbling through their workday. Tired workers have been implicated in some truly catastrophic incidents. We're talking about infamous disasters that have etched themselves into the annals of history. From the notorious Exxon Valdez oil spill to the gut-wrenching nuclear meltdown at 3 Mile Island. Sleep-deprived folks have left an indelible mark on these calamitous events. Now, I must warn you, my dear friends, that the consequences of sleep deprivation aren't to be taken lightly. What may initially appear as a mere inconvenience quickly spirals into a maelstrom of uncontrollable chaos. The toll it takes on our bodies, minds, and cognitive faculties is nothing short of incapacitating. When sleep deprivation stretches to extreme durations, the outcome becomes nothing short of perilous. An extraordinarily rare and harrowing condition known as fatal familial insomnia is the ultimate trial of sleep deprivation. Imagine, if you will, people struck by this merciless affliction find themselves locked in an impossible battle where sleep becomes an elusive dream forever out of reach. For around 18 torturous months, they suffer through the agony of sleeplessness. As time wears on, a haunting progression begins to take hold. A progression fraught with panic attacks, weight loss, and hallucinations that would send shivers down David Lynch's spine. It's a tale of despair, and a tragic end looms on the horizon. I regret to inform you that death becomes an inescapable fate for those plagued by this condition. It's a chilling reality, a cruel twist of fate that snatches away the solace of slumber and replaces it with unbearable torment. Let us take a moment of somber reflection for those unfortunate souls trapped in a perpetual wakefulness that knows no respite.
To die. To sleep. To sleep, perchance to dream.
Ah, the lengths to which some brave souls will go in the name of scientific enlightenment. Let's explore the captivating tale of Randy Gardner, a sprightly 17-year-old high school student who, fueled by ambition and his quest for victory, embarked on an extraordinary endeavor in 1964. His mission, none other than to seize first place at the prestigious San Diego Science Fair by shattering the record for sleeplessness. With the support of two trusty comrades and under the watchful eyes of Stanford University's esteemed scientists, Gardner set out on an epic journey, defying the realms of slumber for an astonishing 264 hours, equivalent to a mind-boggling 11 days. And believe it or not, my dear comrades, he accomplished this awe-inspiring feat without taking shitloads of speed. While Randy may not have ventured as deeply into the abyss of sleep-deprived madness as our friend Peter Tripp, he did face his share of peculiar predicaments, mood swings, difficulties in concentration and memory, paranoia. Hallucinations danced upon his weary mind. By the fourth day, a delusion gripped his consciousness, convincing him that he was a famous American football player competing in the Rose Bowl. On that fateful 11th day, Randy was tasked with a simple mathematical challenge of subtracting 7 from 100, yet, inexplicably, he stumbled upon a mental block, forgetting the very task at hand. Surprisingly, later that day, as if defying all odds, Randy confidently stepped before a captivated audience, delivering a press conference with utmost clarity and eloquence. And that evening, he even triumphed over one of his doctors in a gripping game of pinball. Following his Herculean accomplishment, Randy succumbed to a well-deserved slumber and indulging in nearly 15 hours of uninterrupted rest. And lo and behold, within a matter of days, he resumed a regular sleep schedule as if nothing had transpired. But the story doesn't quite end there. As Randy journeyed through the labyrinth of life, he found himself plagued by unbearable insomnia, a haunting specter that he blamed squarely on the sleep experiment.
There have been others who surpassed Gardner's record, but none were monitored by sleep scientists, and are therefore unverifiable.
We all know that a lack of sleep can wreak havoc on our physical well-being, but what about those ethereal hallucinations and seemingly mad behavior? Picture this. The brilliant minds of scientists have come up with a mesmerizing theory that when we push the boundaries of sleep deprivation, our dear brain enters a peculiar state akin to a waking dream known as microsleep. You see, REM sleep, the delightful phase where dreams often take center stage, dances to the rhythm of a 90-minute cycle. And during Peter Tripp's daring sleep experiment, keen-eyed scientists noticed that his hallucinatory escapades followed this very pattern. This led to the conclusion that Tripp, despite his seemingly wide-awake state, was actually tiptoeing through the realms of a dream world. Quite a revelation, wouldn't you say?
If you're awake and seeing things that aren't there, you're mad, but if you're asleep, then you're dreaming.
And so, my dear friends, behold the intriguing connection between sleep deprivation, hallucinations, and the curious intertwining of wakefulness and dreams. The human brain, what a marvel it is. Its response to prolonged sleeplessness unfolds in captivating and at times unsettling experiences. It's a testament to the complexity of our minds, a delicate dance between the conscious and the subconscious. As we unravel the mysteries of microsleep and its perplexing hallucinations, we gain invaluable insights into the profound significance of sleep for our mental well-being. So, my friends, the next time you find yourself wandering the realm of the sleep-deprived, witnessing peculiar visions and engaging in seemingly irrational behavior, remember this. Your brain may be navigating the shadowy bridge between wakefulness and dreams. Let it be a gentle nudge to prioritize your precious slumber, for in those moments of rejuvenation we rediscover our clarity, coherence, and harmonious connection to the world around us.
Our eyes close, the world fades. Mind, a canvas where subconscious phantoms paint haunting masterpieces in the depths of slumber.
Thank you, Marceline. The wisdom of puppets.